gun control advocates love to point to gun bans and restrictions in other countries as proof that gun control works. But where they'll never point is Chicago, even though it's a perfect example of gun control in action. The gun control is going so well there, in fact, that even the news crews covering armed robberies are becoming victims of armed robbery. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and another video about Chicago. It's actually perfect timing for an example of how their rules are going so swimmingly, as I just posted last week about how the city's newest proposal is eerily similar to The Purge. If you haven't watched that video, you should check it out because it is a wild ride. Before we get into the rest of the details on this story, this video is brought to you with the help of Blackout Coffee Company. They're a small batch Second Amendment roaster based in sunny Florida that doesn't just specialize in coffee, but also tea, hot chocolate, and supporting your favorite gun rights groups and veterans. To check them out and help support the channel, go to blackoutcoffee.com/libertydoll. Nothing says Chicago quite like being held at gunpoint while covering a news story about people being held at gunpoint. This past weekend, over 30 people were victims of armed robberies in only a 12-hour period in the Windy City. And no, there haven't been any arrests for any of the latest crime waves. As far as the public knows, there aren't even any suspects. A news crew was setting up around 5 a.m. to do a live shot of one of the latest robbery scenes when a black SUV and a gray sedan rolled up, armed men in ski masks climbing out of them like clown cars. I would show you the news clip, except there isn't one, because not only did the robbers take the news crew's personal belongings, but then they went into the van and stole their equipment and camera. No idea what that sells for on the black market, but it must be good because they're not even the first news crew to get robbed this month. There were two big robbery crime sprees over the weekend, the second starting at 3 in the afternoon, meaning clearly they're not paying attention to that do your crime after 9 p.m. proposal I covered last week. And yet they say the places without gun control are the anarchy Wild West. And what's even wilder is that one of the cars was seen at several of the robberies, and cops even radioed in that they had seen it, but also refused to follow or pursue it. You know, that might be why arrests are made in only 20% of Chicago's robberies and only 4% of car thefts. But I mean, I could be wrong. After that set of robberies, there was about an hour break, and then there was another set Sunday night where there were 6 robberies, including a carjacking in about an hour, likely again all conducted by the same crew. That same crew that the cops wouldn't engage or follow or pursue. And that probably did the crime sprees last weekend and the weekend before and the one before that. Some areas of Chicago have seen a 322% increase in robberies over the last year. Armed robberies are at this point a daily occurrence in the city. A similar spree happened 2 weeks before this one, with cops watching the whole thing and being told not to intervene. Even cops are getting robbed now. 4 of them, actually, since mid-July. Clearly, these guys don't care about the law. But let's pass another one. Interestingly enough, only one report has come in of any of the victims being a gun owner, aside from the cops, and in that one story, the gun owner ran instead of shooting back. One of the city's aldermen has told residents that the police have a clear and concrete plan to end the robbery sprees, but has not announced what exactly that plan is, other than continuing to crack down on lawful gun ownership and telling cops not to pursue the criminals. So once again, if any of you kind folks are in the city of Chicago, my professional advice would be to try to get out of Chicago. You can't even say now that these things are happening only at night or it's because people are out past dark when it's happening at 3 in the afternoon. Quite simply, the good old blue politicians of Chicago do not give a flying F about you or your rights, and that is not going to change. You know, the left always says that we don't have a right to a gun or to self-defense, but they have a right to live without being in fear or worrying about guns. Well, when you tell people they don't have a right to a gun, this is what happens. And with that, my friends, this is the end of yet another video about Chicago. And the love that they're sharing for each other there. Please give a like, share, and subscribe if you are new here. Ring the notification bell. And if you're feeling extra spicy and want a little extra Liberty Doll in your week, you can check out my brand new channel called The Liberty Homestead, where Liberty Toddler and I hang out. We do gardening, we do canning, preserving, we're going to be doing prepping, all of these fun things. We've got 2 videos up already with a lot more, I mean a lot more on the way. And trust me, Liberty Toddler isn't even 2 yet, and she is getting darn good at packing pickle jars. So if you want a little how-to know-how while Liberty Toddler keeps me on my toes, make sure to check out the new channel, which I will link down in the description. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and happy shooting.